What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is Live and Learn. Appreciate you taking the precious time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope that you are able to gain something beneficial from what I'm sharing today. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I really appreciate that support. If you'd like to reach me on TikTok or Instagram, my handle is @LiveToLearnCoaching. You can find that in the description of this video. Also in the description of the video, 3 opportunities to donate, to invest in my channel financially if that's something that you are willing to do. If not, no big deal. Subs, likes, comments, shares, those all help as well. And for those of you who have already made a financial investment into this channel and into what I'm doing, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. So let's get started. If this is your first time watching my videos, welcome. If you've been following me for a while, if you were able to check out my last series, going to be starting another series coming up soon. But today is kind of sort of an introductory video, because I think the subject I'm going to be talking about is so vast. There's so much to it that to just go into a 3-part series, which is what I plan to do, it's just not enough, right? And I don't want to sit here for an hour or keep you for 30 minutes even, but this is a wide topic that we can go so many different ways with this. And so before I get started, just a quick recap of what I just came off of last week, doing a series on, for those of us who are unhappy at work, we want a new job, we want a new career, we just want something different. I shared some advice, some things that have helped me out, some things that I feel would be helpful. And I think hand in hand with not being satisfied or being stuck in a dead-end job, I think one of the things that goes hand in hand with that is financial stress. And so I thought it would be wise to segue into this subject next, talking about financial stress, being financially stressed out, right? Not having enough money, always feeling like you're playing catch up, always just stressed out about funds, bills, things like that. These are very real problems. These are very understandable problems. But there's more to it than just I'm not making enough money. Certainly that plays a part. And I would encourage anybody who's not making enough money at the moment to really get creative, really get proactive in looking for ways to bring in revenue, looking for ways to add an additional stream of revenue. And maybe I'll do a series on that one day. But let me just share with you from my own story, my own background when it comes to money. And I think that's where it starts, right? It depends. In fact, a lot of things factor into how we spend money and what we do with our finances, right? And a lot of this is what leads to us being financially stressed. Now, with that being said, I want to offer you some hope that we can change things. There's always something we can do. Okay, I don't know your situation. I don't know everyone's situation. I know there are people that are just stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I know that even what I'm going to share may not be enough to get them out of their situation, but I can try. Right? But a lot of what we do, how we deal with money, has to do with our background. Now, growing up, there were 2 things I never heard. I never heard my parents fight about money, and I never heard my parents fight about their children. Now, I'm not trying to paint this perfect picture, but I had a good upbringing. And so shout out to my mom and dad. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. But my father, when it comes to finances, my father was my first role model. He was the first one that I ever saw and showed me kind of, what you do with money. And I've said this on other videos before, and I'm going to say it again. My dad was what's his name? What's his name? Bob Ramsey? Bill Ramsey? Anyway, his name's Ramsey, right? And everyone knows him as a financial guru. But I always say my dad was that guy before that guy, right? And the reason why I say is because he taught me simple things. He used to say, son, this is what you want to do. You get paid, you pay your bills, you put some money in the savings, whatever's left after that is all yours. And to me, it's a very simplistic way of dealing with finances, and it works, and I think it's a great system. Now, if you were not fortunate to have anyone in your life growing up teach you how to deal with money that way, then your approach to finances is going to be vastly different from mine. Some of us grew up in different spaces. Some of us grew up with plenty of wealth, right? There was plenty of money around. Money was never an issue. Some of us grew up on the opposite end. Money was always an issue. Everything always came down to money. So you look at money as a friend or foe, or it can be both. Another aspect is my religious upbringing, my faith upbringing, right? In the church has a funny relationship with money, right? Because we accept money, but sometimes we tell people not to make too much money, right? And we use verses in scripture to justify things. And so growing up in the church, the money thing was kind of, it was a little uncertain. Like, okay, well, too much money's bad, but we still need some money. So, again, all these things are going to play into however you grew up, right? I'm just sharing my upbringing, how we approach money and what we do with our finances. Now, I want to take you back to 2008. I was at probably one of the lowest points in my life and probably one of the most financially stressful points in my life. I had nothing but creditors. I was in debt. I had made a lot of poor choices, just simply being irresponsible. And I want to give a huge shout out to one of my best friends. Her name is Carla Crosley. It was at this time in my life that I came and worked for her, and I don't think she realized how much she did for me by hiring me and helping me out. And I love you forever, Carlotti, but she helped me out, and it was working with her where I was able to kind of catch up. I was able to get on my feet. I was able to send money back home. I was living out of state at this time, and my dad was able to take care of my creditors, settle some of my debts, and from there I just began to progress. I started to mature. I got back and got married. Credit wasn't good. I still needed a co-signer when I needed to take out a loan on a car. Shout out to my dad for always being there for that as well. Again, he could co-sign because his credit was good, because my father was financially responsible. Fast forward to today. I've got great credit. I've been able to do a lot of things because I've had good credit. I've been able to do a lot of things because of my financial responsibility. Am I the best? His name's Dave Ramsey. Am I the best? No. Do I have a lot to improve on? Absolutely. Absolutely. But one thing that I realize is this: most of the financial stress that we deal with is our own doing. If I ever find myself in a place where I'm financially stressed, it's because I have not properly prepared myself for the moment. I've not set enough money aside for what ifs. And we know things happen. Life happens. I've not prepared, or I've overspent, right? My self-control left. I did too much of this and that. And this is not to beat ourselves up, but to recognize that this is majority it's on us. Right? It's like when gas prices go up, everyone's complaining about it, including myself. We're not complaining about eating out every day instead of bringing our own lunch to work. We're not complaining about buying a iced coffee every day instead of making it at home. Right? We're not complaining about going to the sports bar, dropping $100 on a tab, but we're mad about the gas. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying the gas prices aren't high. They are. They're ridiculous. I'm saying, what are we doing with the things that we can control versus the things we can't control? I have no control over the gas prices. I do have control over my own finances and what I'm bringing in. So before I let you go, I want to leave you with lessons I learned from a famous book. It's an old book. I listened to it on audiobook, and they've got some great financial lessons on there. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. If you've never checked it out, please look at it. Please listen to it. Read it. One of the things that he teaches, again, this is ancient times, right? He says, if you make 10 gold coins, learn how to live off of 9. Think about the simplicity of that. Think about what that means. That my paycheck might be $1,000, but I can't look at it as, hey, I got $1,000. No. Put some aside. Invest some. Pay your bills. Whatever's left, now you have it. Now that's what I have. And these are just little things to kind of get you thinking about it. But understand that a lot of us have more control than we think. We don't need to be financially stressed. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be a quick fix. There's no such thing. But if I could climb out of my hole, you could do it as well. So stay tuned for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing a 3-part series on this. And I hope in the meantime, you'll look for resources. You'll look for other ways to help relieve some of that financial stress if that's something that you're dealing with. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.